Welcome to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost with me, Charly Leetham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and I'll break them down into bite-sized tips you can use straight away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Rise and Shine is your dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Leetham. Episode number 644. Yes, we are pushing through them. I'm actually going to take a little bit of a break from preparing yourself for Christmas, and I just want to hit this one because I'm seeing a lot of stuff come out about it. I'm seeing a lot of shorts, very short videos come out saying, oh, Google's using your stuff again. This is really dangerous, and it's a lot of hype, and I want to try and break through that hype, and I want to go through the reality of it and what it really means to you. So I'm sure you have all at least seen one video, one post saying Google's going to use your email, your data to train its Gemini engine. Technically, it's true. Technically. There's a few things we can do about it, and there's a few things I want to cut through on it and explain why sometimes that hype might be just hype and it might be just panic. Let's just start with the claim no one knows about this or hardly anyone knows about this. That might be correct, but the reason it would be correct is because none of us, or very few of us, read terms and conditions and read those emails. When those emails come in from our provider saying we're updating our terms and conditions, you can find the details here. We go, yeah, whatever, and we move forward. And if you guys don't do it, I am sorry if I'm projecting onto you, but I look at it and I go, I just don't have time. It's contract, it's legalese, and we really shouldn't be doing that. I really shouldn't be doing that, and I'm getting very good now at actually going through and trying to find what their changes are and what they mean. Now, just as a sideline on that one, just as a sidebar on that one, if you are getting those sorts of things and you want to know what the terms and conditions are saying and you're not quite sure what they mean, you can always take the terms and conditions and throw them into one of the AI engines, just copy paste them in and ask the AI engine to give you a summary on it. Now, there's another big sigh, isn't it? You do have to be careful with what the AI engine gives you back. You do have to verify it. There's another episode in the making here about the validity and the veracity of the information that AI engines are giving us at the moment. But if you're asking it to summarize data and give you a summary of information that you're feeding into it, it is normally pretty good, and it will normally do a good job at summarizing it, giving you references. If you want to say, can you highlight anything that might be of concern in terms of privacy or data rights or operating in other countries, you can tell it that and it will highlight the sections, and then you can go and read those sections and see what they say. You might also be able to find like a previous version of the terms and conditions and put the both in and say, tell me what the differences are and what you think they mean. Now, that's a good use of AI. It's also a good use of your time because you're not trying to troll through it and work it out yourself. I'm not going to say take the AI's recommendations or words as gospel, as the things that you should be doing. I'm going to say that it should raise concerns for you that you then need to go and independently verify. Go and speak to a lawyer. Go and speak to someone who has experience in that kind of thing and ask them what they think it means and what they think you should do. Okay, so that should hopefully address the hardly anyone knows about this. The only reason hardly anyone knows about this, in my opinion, is because we don't read the emails that come in to say they're updating their terms and conditions. Sorry, that's how I feel it is. I don't feel it's been done on stealth exactly. I don't know if they could have done a better job at it, but I don't feel that it has been done under the radar. Not completely under the radar, as I feel some of these things are making it out to be. Okay. So that's the first claim. The second claim is that they're using our data to train their AI. Yeah, yeah, they are. They're using some of our data to train their AI. If you are using a free account, I think that we all need to acknowledge that it is a free account that gets paid for somehow, and that gets paid for by using the data that we're feeding it so that they can improve their products. I've said in another video along the way, if you aren't, you're either paying for something or you're the product. If you're paying for something, you're going to get you're going to get the product, you're going to get the service. If you're not paying for something, you are the product. That's just something we need to recognize. If you don't want these engines to use your data like this, then don't use the free services. That's harsh. I know it's harsh, and I'm really sorry that's harsh. But I just don't see any other way around it. That the economics of this, the reality of this is that these services, and they're very good services for free, have to cover their costs somehow. And they cover their costs by taking everything we're doing and using it to improve their services so they can sell it to the people that want to buy it. Maybe that's a naive kind of view. Maybe. I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one. Okay, so that's where that's what we're looking at. So yes, I'm going to jump into my free Gmail account. Yes, I have free Gmail accounts. I use them for testing all the time. I use them to check out things all the time. I just don't put a lot of my own personal data in there. I'm going to jump into my Gmail account. I'm going to show you where you can find these features. I'm going to be checking some of my notes along the way as well, so please bear with me. And I will actually go through what their help system is saying on it so that you get a better understanding of what these systems are doing and what it is they're offering you and what it is they are and aren't going to do. So my Gmail account, honestly, I just spent the last 10 minutes deleting all of the junk messages I get into it. So it's clean. Well, it's relatively clean. The rubbish bin is full. This is my Gmail account. Let's go and have a look at this new Gemini stuff and what it's doing. Now, you'll notice up here at the top, we've got the star, which is allowing us to try Gemini. We can try Gemini for free. Feel free to play with it. I haven't yet. I'll spend some time when I'm finished writing this training course, delivering this training course that I've got, and try it all out. But to find where your settings are for your Gemini, for your AI in your account, you've got to come up to your settings here on the top right-hand corner in the menu bar. So you come up to where your icon is and come across to where the cog is, click on that. When that comes up, click on see all settings. Now, I've got to remember where it is. I've got a whole heap of things in here that we can look at. Okay. I think they're here under our general settings. You come down to so make sure you're on the general tab and just scroll down, and you'll scroll down to where you've got two things here. You've got smart reply, you've got smart features, and Google Workspace smart features. I can't believe I tripped over that. Uh, so if we look at just smart features, first of all, you see you've got these learn more buttons. I honestly recommend, if you're not sure what something does, click on these. Sometimes they're a little confusing in the way they use words. I think they use a lot of jargon in this stuff, and sometimes I think it's like recursion, see recursion, but it's often educational to click on them and read what they have to say. But smart features, we're going to turn it on, or it's automatically on in Gmail Chat and Meet. When you turn this setting on, you agree to let Gmail Chat and Meet use your content and activity in these products to provide smart features and personalize your experience. Well, what does that mean? Let's go have a look. Click on the learn more. Now, the best thing about the learn more is it doesn't actually take you off of the system, off of the screen. I'm just going to drag that across to the center here. So I'm going to run through what this says. Learning about smart features controls for Google Workspace and products. To give more granular control over your data, we've updated our smart features settings for Workspace. So it's going to open a new window. This update turns the existing control into two distinct settings that govern different products experiences. These updates also give you more choice and control over your data and do not alter our underlying data handling practices or our robust privacy commitments. We'll come back to those. So in Calendar, Chat, Drive, Gmail, and Meet, you can manage smart feature settings. You can use Gemini and Google Workspace to reference Drive files from Gmail, automatically add events such as flights from Gmail to Calendar, compile loyalty cards and tickets into your Google Wallet, track an upcoming order using summary cards in Gmail. Okay, so these are some of the automation features that we're going to be seeing from that we've seen the tutorials coming out, but we're seeing the again, it's all hype. Yeah, oh, you can now do this in Google. You can now do, did you know that this feature now exists? Well, you've got to have these features turned on to be able to use it. You've got to enable this level of access to allow for to be able to use these features. Uh Smart features in Gmail chat. And I'm just going to scroll through. Controls the use of Gmail to provide smart features. Yep. Okay. So it's just telling us here. This is what I was looking for. When you turn on smart features in Gmail, Chat, and Meet, you agree to let Gmail, Chat, and Meet use your content and activity in these products to personalize your experiences. When you turn on this setting, you can get experiences that include automatic email. This is what I wanted to see. Automatic email, filtering, categorization, primary, social, and promotions. Well, we already had that. I mean, yes, it might have been a little primitive, but it was already there. So, okay. Smart compose suggested text in email. Well, we already had some of that. I guess what they're now doing is saying, well, we were using some of these features earlier and now we're just splitting them out and making sure that it's really clear that this is what we're doing. Maybe they've allowed more access to it. Maybe they've just recategorized it. And that's a possibility. Smart replies, suggested quick replies in emails, summary cards above emails, travel, packaging, package tracking, and more. So this is now what they're doing is they're taking the text in an email and giving you a TLDR, too long didn't read, summary at the top of the email, executive summary, if you like, of what it's doing. That might be helpful to you. The setting controls app level smart features which personalize experience with Gmail, Chat, and Meet. Changes to these settings don't affect your existing control over smart features in the Google Workspace settings. When you turn off this setting, you can't use the experiences listed above in Gmail, Chat, and Meet. To continue to use these experiences, you need to turn the setting back on. Even if you turn off smart features in Gmail, Chat, and Meet, some smart features with individual on and off settings are still available. Okay, so you can still get some granular control on it. But if you turn the smart features off in what was it, Gmail, Chat, and Meet, you can't have the automatic filtering, you can't have the smart compose, you can't have the smart reply, and you don't get that TLDR option anymore, or the summary anymore. Okay, for the workspace, when you turn on smart features in Workspace, you agree, blah, 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 blah. Yep, we agree to do all these things. When you turn on this setting, you get the experiences across Workspace that include show events from Gmail in your calendar. So it'll take your flight itineraries and invitations. Honestly, I think it already did that. Personalized search, such as keyword suggestion filters in products like Drive, that could be really, really nice. I know that the search functionality in Drive is a little limited. Trust me, I use it a lot. Ask Gemini to summarize content to create drafts and find key information along with other Google Workspace with Gemini. That could be really, really good. So if you're in an email or if you're writing a document, you say, listen, can you pull all the emails that I've had in relation to this and summarize it? It will do it in Drive. I can see some real benefits here. When you turn off this setting, you can't use the experiences listed above, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I know, I'm summarizing it really, really quickly. Some other smart features in other Google products. When you turn this setting on, you can get experiences in other Google products that include restaurants reservations, suggested ticket places, passes and loyalty cards in Wallet, suggestions and answers in the Gemini app. When you turn it off, you can't get access to that. Okay, so again, If you are into automating all of this stuff, this could be really useful to you. If you're like me and you don't mind actually doing things manually and having a little bit more control about what actually goes into your systems rather than just everything going in, because that's normally what happens, you can turn this off. Okay, so this is an interesting thing for me here. By default, smart feature settings are off if you live in the EU, Japan, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. That's because they've got really strong. Well, the United Kingdom is would be covered by the EU, the GDPR. Switzerland's got some pretty strong privacy controls. Japan must too, by the looks of this. Uh, this is the important part. When smart features are on, your data may be used to improve these features. Across Google and Workspace, we've long shared robust privacy commitments and outlines about how we use your data and prioritize privacy. We'll come back and look at that in just a moment. Generative AI doesn't change these commitments. It actually reaffirms their importance. And you can learn how they protect your data. Okay, I'm not going to go any further on this. I let's have a quick look at this one, shall we? Just going to open a new window. Okay. This is a really long document. I'm just going to quickly scan through it. Your data is your data. The content that you put into Google Workspace services is yours. We never sell your data and you can delete your content or export it. Your data stays in Workspace. We do not use your Workspace data to train or improve the underlying generative AI or large language models such as Bard search. Okay, so they're saying here that they do not use your data. Your privacy is protected. Interactions with intelligent workspace features such as accepting, rejecting spelling, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's just finish off here and then I'll come back and have a chat. I would recommend you guys have a look here. I would recommend you have a look at your privacy hub, download the compliance guide, read this out and see how you feel about it. Okay. So let's just go back to the settings here. We'll close that down. So you have two places that you can turn off the smart features. It's going to disable any AI functionality. It may actually take your Gmail account back to something a little more basic, which might suit some of us nicely. So we can turn off the smart features within Gmail Chat and Meet just by unchecking that box. It says turn off smart features and personalization. You need to reload. If you have unsafe, yeah, whatever, turn it off. It's gone. And we just wait. Okay, and we've got to go back into settings now. So it's gone. Now you'll notice now that it's gone, I've lost that star. Oh no, it's back. Okay, it's back. It just took a bit longer to come up. I'll come back to that in a moment. I just saw something pop up there though. Okay, so now that I've turned it off, you don't get grammar anymore. You don't get spelling recommendations anymore. You don't get autocorrect. You don't get smart compose. You don't get smart compose personalization. So we have lost the spelling checker. We have lost the grammar. We have lost the autocorrect. They've put all of this into their Gemini and their smart features option. If that's a concern for you, then you will need to turn it back on. We come down to Google Workspace Smart Features. Choose to personalize your experience with smart features across Workspace and other Google products. Workspace includes Google Apps for Business and School, such as Gmail. I don't know if I can actually access that. Okay, let's have a look. When you turn this setting on, you agree to let Google Workspace use your workspace content and activity to personalize your experience across the workspace. This is what we just read in that help file there. It tells you that it will show events in Gmail. It'll personalize your search. It'll ask Gemini. You can ask Gemini to summarize content. I'm laughing because of my stutter. To summarize content, create drafts, find key information. Smart features in other Google's restaurant reservations, in Maps, suggested tickets, answer and reminders in Google Assistant, learn more about. So you can just turn it off. And if you turn it off, uncheck it, click save, and it's gone. You don't have to reload it. Okay, so upshot of all of this, we have lost some of the nicer functionality that we used to have in our Gmail accounts. We don't have spelling, we don't have autocorrect, we don't have grammar. Smart Compose, I never really used Smart Compose. Some of you might have already used it. The personalization, you don't get smart replies, you don't get nudges anymore. It's all gone. It's all gone from your Gmail account because that was all part of the smart reply. Now, what I'm going to do is just head back to my mail account here. You'll notice here that I have lost those 3 tabs across the top. So I can't even remember what they were, but you know how when your email came in, it went into those tabs? Now, some of you would just drag everything in. Some of you had turned them off anyway. You're not going to get that anymore. You're not going to get those that automatic or filing of stuff into those tabs. You're going to have to you're going to have to either set up filters and rules to do it, or you're going to have to turn it back on to get it. So let me come back and have a quick chat to you. Alrighty, so that was kind of a longer one. They've gutted Gmail, basically. They have gutted their products. They have taken a lot of the nice functionality that we have grown used to over the last 10 years as they've improved the product and thrown it all into their Gemini product, their smart features product, which is now powered by their AI engine. If you want to get access to it, you are going to have to allow the AI features to access your account. If you are happy running with a standard vanilla, very basic account, you don't have to use it. You absolutely don't have to use it. Are they using your exact data to train their generative AI? They say not. I'm being really, really specific about those words, by the way. They say they aren't. Do I believe them? Maybe. Maybe. I have a healthy skepticism about how much they can actually segregate data coming into the system to do that training. We're talking petabytes of data that they get. Can they really segregate it out that far? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not in their systems. They say they aren't. That they guarantee they are not using our data to do that. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. They have turned those features off in the EU, though, because of the GDPR, because of the privacy concerns. Maybe that's something to think about. I mean, it's also possible they've done that with the GDPR because the GDPR actually says you can't have data transiting out of the EU. That has to be all held on servers in the EU and it can't be managed by companies outside of the EU. Like, there's some really strict restrictions on it, like amazing. Is it hype that they're using your data to train their AI? According to their words, it is. According to their words, it's hype. According to their words, they're saying that your data's not being used to do that. Yeah, like I said, I don't know how much I trust it. I don't know if it's right or not. All I can say to you is this is what their policies are saying. This is how you can turn it off. When you turn it off, you are going to lose a whole heap of features. And if you don't want to lose those features, then you have to stick with it or find another provider that gives you similar features. I would love to know what your thoughts are. Honestly, I'm I've got another couple of episodes coming up for AI. Yeah, there's a few things. I don't wanna preempt anything. There's a few things. I'd just love to know what your thoughts are. I'd love to know how you feel about these changes. Do you actually read the terms and conditions when they change, or do you just let them go? Um, do you go through them with a fine tooth comb, or do you just accept that it is what it is, and if you want to use the service, you're going to have to accept it anyway. I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know where it all lands for you, what you're going to do about your Google account. If you've got a free Google account, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to manage it? Are you going to turn these features off and go back to a very vanilla account? Are you going to leave them on? Are you going to change? Do you have concerns? Let me know. You can have these conversations in my community. Ask charlyleetham.locals.com. I'd love to have you over there, host this type of conversation. These are the types of conversations that are going to help us shape how we manage our businesses, manage this AI thing that's coming out, that is just growing. It's growing at the moment. And I just don't know where it's going to go. So I'd love to know your thoughts. If you don't want to come across to my community, which I kind of get, you can leave comments on these videos wherever you're watching or listening to them. I will get to them eventually. If this is useful to you, please give it a like. I'd really appreciate that. It does help the algorithm. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you find out when I drop more content. Thanks, guys. I'll see you the day after tomorrow. Bye. Hey there. Thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlyleetham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.